everyone, it's Miriam with a Y. I'm sorry for my long absence. My health hasn't been great, so I needed a bit of time to get better. Now, sometimes you make a painting and it needs a little something extra to make it all the more special. Today, I'm going to show you how to make sparkly alcohol ink borders in any color or colors that you like. They'll be perfect for that little something extra for paintings, cards, ornaments, you name it. For this, we'll need some score tape. This is really strong double-sided adhesive. I'll be using the 1/8 of an inch size, but there are lots of widths available. You'll need alcohol inks of your choice, some isopropyl alcohol, a palette or something to hold your ink as you paint, a small fine point paintbrush, and a fluffier short-haired brush too. Now, an X-Acto knife can be helpful for precision cuts if you like. If you also have any alcohol markers like Copic or Spectrum Noir, Arteza, whatever, pull out a couple of those too. They're not necessary, but they can definitely be fun for this. And finally, the main ingredient for our sparkle. I'm recommending Elizabeth Craft Designs Silk Microfine Glitter. This is hands down my favorite glitter ever. If you've ever seen other videos I've done using it, you may have already bought some. If not, there are links for the colors that we need for this and for everything else we're going to be using at the best price available that I could find in the description box below this video. Now, don't get me wrong. I love most all glitter, from fine to chunky, a lot. But sometimes it can be a bit, gaudy if it's overdone. That's why I love this glitter in particular for some things. It's somewhat subtle. It absolutely sparkles and does so with, I'm going to say a touch of elegance. Now, the two colors I'll be using are warm diamond and cool diamond. Oh, I think I did that backwards. Cool diamond and warm diamond. Now, technically, these are both colorless, which is what we want for this. But they have iridescent properties. It's going to be hard for me to show that to you now. But you've undoubtedly seen this in glitter before, where you'll have a glitter that's one overall main color, but it also shows a hint of green or violet or whatever as you move it. So these two do that too, but on a white base. The warm one flashes mainly peach and yellow, so it goes best with reds and yellows, oranges and browns. And the cool one flashes turquoise, blue, violet, and a little bit of green, so it looks great with those colors. I'll show you both. I've pulled out a test painting from my stash. This is just something I made just to practice on. It's got some pink pearly dots and lots of color, so I think it'll be fun to embellish with a sparkly border. I made this particular piece on Graphics opaque white craft plastic, but this border technique can work on most any substrate. The first step is to decide exactly where I want that sparkle border. Do I want it at the very edge of the painting? Or maybe a bit inside? Yeah, how about a bit inside? So for that, I'm going to position a line of score tape just inside the edge, by about 1 millimeter or 2. And I'll do that all the way around. Now this is definitely something you can customize any way you like. I'm placing my tape down where I want it and making sure to, make it as straight as possible. When it comes to the corners, you can have the pieces of tape just butt up against each other. You can get all fancy and make miter cuts. You can overlap the tape, I guess. Pick whichever look you like. This is where the X-Acto knife can be super helpful, because you can really get some precision cuts made on your tape at exactly where you need them. It's a little tricky to get that done with scissors, but not impossible. Before peeling off the protecting paper on the tape, burnish down the tape for the best, strongest bond. Now, this painting has both warm and cool colors, so I can go with either glitter. I'm just going to choose warm diamond, for no particular reason, really. To add the glitter to the tape, you can literally just pour the glitter right over the tape. I don't even know why I'm doing it this way. I do it with a soft brush. This way undoubtedly takes longer, so honestly, do whichever way you prefer. Yeah, pouring it on is probably going to go faster. But yeah, I don't know, I feel very, precise by doing it with the brush. Once the tape is nicely saturated with glitter, I brush off any extra and return it to the jar. What's really, really nice about working with this glitter is, for most everything I do with it, I use very little. Like, it doesn't take a lot to get a really, really sparkly area. It's awesome. Now, the next step is burnishing the glitter. For that, I'm going to run my finger along the length of the tape and press down firmly as I do it. So I'm running the finger along the tape, so the long way, not across it, because I don't want to mess up the nice crisp edges. And when you get to the corners, you kind of, be a little gentle so as to keep them nicely down. Because it's kind of easy if you rub in that area to kind of lift it up a little bit, and we don't want to do that. By the way, I'm working on a silicone mat, just because that's what I work on, not because you need that for this. But if you do too, a super easy way I found to clean stray glitter off of it is with a baby wipe. It works like a charm. Okay, that's all done. And for some projects, this might be all we need. But we're here to add color to this, right? Yeah. So I've pulled out some inks and my fine point brush. I find that ink thinned with isopropyl alcohol works best for this. Inks at full strength, so like straight out of the bottle, especially something like Pinata, which is so intense, they have a built-in gloss from a resin, which can actually sort of fight the shimmer of the glitter. But that also could depend on the ink and the color, because even within a brand, not every color is the same. So experiment with your colors for the look that you like best. Oh, and of course, you can do this all in one color, but that would be less fun for a video, so we're gonna go with a few. I'm wetting my brush with my first color and then dabbing off any extra. The brush should be wet, but not necessarily dripping. So if you pull the brush out of the alcohol ink and like drops are falling off, that's too wet. And then just touch the tip of the brush to the tape. The color will naturally run along the tape. The tape kind of wants to help you with this. As long as your brush is small enough and not too wet with ink, you can easily add all the color you want to your tape. Notice how I'm not bothering to clean the brush between colors. I found that I didn't need to. The new color pushes any previous color that's still in the paintbrush out of the way, apparently, and only the new color shows up when I go to paint on the tape. This is definitely super convenient. I suspect, though, that if I was working with full strength ink, like straight out of a bottle, I'd have to clean the brush between the colors because it would be pretty intense. But, or better yet, have a couple of brushes to conserve alcohol. But I think that the ink being thinned this way makes it easier, and I don't have to clean between colors. It's pretty cool. Now, in doing this technique, the tape can take a decent number of strokes with ink being added to it. And while the previous color is still a bit damp down on the tape, it's even possible to blend the next color in. Now, ordinarily, when we're working with alcohol inks, this is not something we can usually do very well. It's not easy to blend colors, in a painting when you bring in a new color. But here on the tape, it's not that difficult. The thing to remember is not to rub too hard on the glitter while it's wet, so that you don't rub the glitter off by breaking down the glue of the tape. So just kind of while the tape is still kind of saturated and wet, be kind of gentle with your brush strokes. And then, alcohol dries pretty quickly, so you don't have to wait very long. You can do this technique with any brand of ink and any standard color. Obviously, metallics and Marabou's glitter inks are not for this technique. They would just cover up this glitter and defeat the purpose. So any regular, totally transparent color can work. You'll just have to decide at what strength or intensity you want those colors. Now that you've seen the technique, let's take a look at some options and go over a few tips. First off, let's see the difference between the warm and the cool diamond. In the first 2 rows of tape here, I'll use warm diamond glitter. And then in the second 2 rows, I'll use the cool diamond. Now, between colors, cleaning the paintbrush, if you use that like me, to add the glitter, it's super easy to clean. All I do is in a garbage bag or something like that, I just flick the end of the paintbrush with my thumb, and any excess glitter easily falls out of the brush. And then the brush is safe to use with the new glitter color. Okay, so I've got both versions down now. And even before adding colors, you can see the difference. The warm diamond is noticeably gold-based. And if you compare it to the cool version, I'm hoping you can see the bluer, sort of whiter nature of the cool diamond. Now let's see how these two influence colors of ink. If I add, let's say, blue to both, let's look at the difference. The same color on the warm diamond looks a bit more teal, which, I like. Yeah, it's my favorite color. While on the cool diamond, it remains more blue. Okay, since this is a scientific test, pseudoscience, I will clean my brush off between the 2 colors. Okay, and now let's try the same thing with pink ink and see what happens. On the warm diamond, the gold nature of the glitter gives the pink like a peachy glow, which is super pretty. And then on the cool diamond, the blue nature of that glitter has a totally different effect. So if you can, I'd recommend getting both glitters. It'll give you more options, I think. If along the way you have a boo-boo, and you color outside a line, a micro brush damp with just a little alcohol can easily take care of that, assuming that you've got white space along your border, because you'll be cleaning back down to the white if you do this. And then you can also do this kind of cleanup with the paintbrush. Next, let's see what it's like to work with markers. If you've got brush nib markers, they're easiest for this because they're really soft on the tape, just like a paintbrush. By the way, after burnishing Elizabeth Craft glitter down on the tape, it is amazingly smooth. And the glittered tape feels just like velvet. It's really amazingly soft. So the nibs of your markers are totally going to be safe. I've tried a few other brands of fine and extra fine glitters because I've got a lot of glitter. And all the glitters ended up feeling more like sandpaper after I did this. So I wouldn't risk the often pricey nibs of my markers on something that could damage them. And also all the other glitters kind of, I don't know, they looked like glitter. This kind of looks, it's glitter obviously, but I don't know, it just looks a little different to me. Now when using brush nibs, it's especially easy to blend colors too. And this can be fun for getting an ombre look. And it's even easy to blend completely different colors, which is amazing. If you're using markers with bullet nibs or the hard nibs, like a Sharpie, like the one that I'm using now, so as not to move the glitter or disturb it, try to almost float the marker over the glitter. Like don't press down with the marker because the tip is going to be a little too rough for this. The glitter will suck the color down easily enough. So just gently floating the marker over is all you need to do. And then blending out a single color like this is doable too. For that, I'll use some alcohol and my paintbrush. And I can achieve an ombre look here too. Another tip, before committing to a color, put down a tiny bit first, just in case it's darker than you might want. And if it is, using a little alcohol like this will let you blend it out and lighten it. But whatever you do, have fun with this. This is glitter. It's glitter and color. It doesn't get better than this. Be creative with your borders. Cut them in different ways, different lengths, maybe double up or triple up. This is why I prefer the thin version of the tape, but remember there are other widths of it too. In the end, there are so many possibilities with this technique. You can use it for paintings, for cards. You can even use it under resin. You can use it for coasters. You can make a piece all with nothing but tape and glitter, if you're in that kind of mood. Tell me in the comments what you think of this technique and what ideas are coming to your mind. Definitely give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That will help my channel. And if you'd be so kind as to share this on your social media, that would help a great deal too, and I'd be ever so grateful. Remember that I've put the best price links that I could find for everything I used in the description box below the video. Thank you for spending time with me. It is so wonderful to be back with you. Check out a few more videos from the channel and let your creative nature shine. Be well, stay safe. See you soon. Bye now.